Family, before we get into Meteora, I want to know what this album was responding to. What was the world like that called for this album and made it inevitable? This album arrived in 2003, 6 days after the U.S. invaded Iraq. So America is still living in like the psychological aftermath of 9/11 at the time. Terror alerts are color-coded and in shock and awe filled the television screens. Some of you guys remember. And the world seemed divided between safety and danger. So young people were carrying their own unnamed battles. And this was the generation growing up after Columbine, inside schools that were shaped by, like metal detectors and zero tolerance policies and a lot of fear. Mental health wasn't even openly discussed. Right? If you were anxious or angry or emotionally overwhelmed, you were often treated more as like a difficulty than a wounded person. Linkin Park became the nervous system of that generation. Chester gave its buried pain a voice, and Mike gave it language and rhythm. Mike was the one that really got me into Linkin Park as a high schooler. I mean, I never did a deep dive, but I was a fan of the hip-hop element of that. The band kind of combined rock, hip-hop, electronics, raw emotion, breaking the same boundaries that the world kept trying to enforce. But they were under pressure too. After the enormous success of Hybrid Theory, link is going to be in the description. We did a whole reaction to that. They had to prove it wasn't an accident. The world had rewarded their vulnerability and turned it into an expectation. So what was the condition of the world ego? Frightened, overstimulated, and desperate for control. Dividing everything into friends and enemies, normal or troubled, successful or, failure. Meteora wasn't separate from that world. It was the world becoming conscious of itself through the band. Without any further ado, family, we're going to get right into it. Join us in the Patreon if you want the entire show prior to its release on YouTube, which will, be inevitable. Hype the video if that option's available. Without any further ado, guys, let's let him cook. Please cook, sirs. Guys, is it just me or can you hear a little Limp Bizkit in here? Let me know if Limp Bizkit was earlier or later than Linkin Park. I'm ignorant. I should have known, but I hear like with the in the background you hear the so that Hybrid Theory energy is still present. Please continue.
Sometimes I need to remember just to breathe. Sometimes I need you to stay away from me. Sometimes I'm in disbelief, I didn't know. Somehow I need you to go. Don't forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you, just giving myself back and don't stay.
Yo. So we start by saying sometimes I need to remember just to breathe. Guys, when the things that are usually on autopilot, right, like breathing, a lot of us don't remember that we're breathing. We just kind of have that in the background. We can do other things. When someone has to remind you to breathe, he's talking about hypervigilance. He's like, sometimes I need all of my focus dedicated to just remembering to breathe, right? And he became the voice of a generation who kind of felt this same way. But the saddest thing I think about that first verse was, forget our memories, forget our possibilities. It's not the verse, that's the chorus. But when he's saying forget all of this stuff, he's saying, look, I don't trust it anymore. I don't trust that we're necessarily heading in a good destination. So I need to take the energy that I was using toward accomplishing my goals, and I need to kind of put them in the immediate present. I need to focus on my own survival. That's a very dystopian hook. I'll go back a couple bars and let him cook.
Take me into, just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your
Guys, what do you think it means when he says, take all your faithlessness with you? Your faithlessness. Because, I mean, as a religious man, faith has a couple of definitions. There's confide, which means with faith. That's the faith that gives you confidence. But then there's fidelitas, like fidelity, faithfulness, right? And then there's fiducia, which is like trust. I think that what he's talking about is when he says take all your faithlessness with you, he's talking about the transient nature of anything that you try to use to guarantee your own safety. It's faithless. There's no amount of money. There's no amount. I mean, guys, listen. I'm in Spokane right now, and the entirety of Spokane is on fire. Outside of my house, it's just filled, smoke down the block. We're not in a evacuation area yet. But we're learning in real time the faithlessness of the transient things we all try to put our safety in, right? So anyway, I'm gonna let him cook.
Sometimes I feel like I trusted you too well.
Wow.
Sometimes I just feel like screaming at myself.
Guys, he says, sometimes I feel like I trusted you too well. Sometimes I feel like screaming at myself. Do you ever wish, when you invest your desire for fulfillment in something which lets you down, don't you just feel like screaming at yourself? You're like, why did I invest so much in this thing? Have you ever had a relationship that you just believed was going to last forever and then it just ends suddenly? Something changes, right? He's really talking.
Sometimes I feel like I trusted you too well.
Right.
Sometimes I just feel like screaming at myself. Sometimes I'm in disbelief. I didn't know. Somehow I need to be alone. Forget our memories. Forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into. Just giving myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories. Forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you. Just giving myself back and don't stay. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. With no apologies, don't stay. Forget our memories. Forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into. Just giving myself back and don't stay.
Guys, that's fire. There's a degree to which, I'm going to leave it to the end.
Memories. Forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you. Just giving myself back and don't stay. Don't stay. Don't stay.
Family, what a way to kick it off. Listen, here's what I wanted to say here, and I wanted to let it ride out. This song kind of gives me a sense of hopelessness, but not in a bad way. Because a lot of times when we hear hopelessness, we're like, oh, no, you got to cling to hope. You got to cling to hope. But I think sometimes it's the clinging to hope which invites in suffering. Why not just go the way the universe is going? Why not just kind of go with the flow? I'm reading G.K. Chesterton's book, Orthodoxy, right now, and he says the poet attempts to get his head in the heavens, and the logician tries to get the heavens into his head, and it's the logician's head that ultimately cracks. Right? A lot of times hope is just trying to, to systematize and to calculate everything. And you're going to miscalculate because there's too much information in the world, for you to, take it all in. And so it's a giving up of hope but I think it's in a good way. Do you know what? Am I saying anything coherent? Talk to me in the comments below. Family, that was track 1. We're going into the next track immediately. Join us in the Patreon to see it before it hits PayPal. Family, I love you. Till next time, stay balanced, please.